Years of conflict mean that Britain is home to an army of the wounded and battle-scarred.
My right eye was down here somewhere and the left eye was damaged.
I was found in a ditch with a radio antenna embedded in the back of my skull.
Let's get that right, come on!
Now, choirmaster Gareth Malone is putting himself on the front line.
I want to give a voice to the people who have served our country and come back with shattered lives, who deserve to be heard and who deserve to tell their stories.
He's joined forces with Prince Harry, founder of the Invictus Games, an international sports event for wounded veterans.
I think it's about providing new opportunities in their lives.
So Gareth's formed an Invictus choir.
Hello! The goal is to inspire the world. Whoa! Easy, Tiger!
To help heal old wounds.
My best friend who died in my arms.
I was sleeping in disused stairwells by choice whilst my youngest was learning to crawl.
Over the past 3 weeks,
Smooth.
Gareth's grappled with troops who've never sung before.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Not the greatest singer.
Drag me down.
Yeah, it sounds like an accident at the moment.
And helped them overcome huge hurdles.
This is shrapnel that was taken out of the back of my brain. It nearly killed me.
Yes.
I'm not listening to what you're saying because it's painful in my head.
I don't do very well with crowded places and lots of people.
This will be full.
OK. OK.
There are so many things that are difficult about this, so I'm feeling pressure.
I've got a river for a soul, and baby, you're
But despite their difficulties,
my only reason.
the choir gave its first ever public performance.
It wasn't perfect, but I'm very proud of them. That's a big achievement.
Nobody can drag me down.
In just 4 weeks' time, they'll travel to America to perform for a global audience at the opening ceremony of the 2016 Invictus Games.
We are Invictus.
With the Games on the horizon, Gareth needs to find the choir something to sing.
It has to be a great song. It's going out live on television in America. So it's got to be big. I can see people in Afghanistan in a tent, in Bastion, listening to that kind of music. I don't know that that will appeal to everyone. I want the song to have a flavour of my guys and what they went through. This Invictus Games is going to be huge. There'll be flyovers, there'll be thousands and thousands of people. Prince Harry and Michelle Obama. It's grand. I don't want it to be them just standing there and singing Jerusalem with an orchestra in the background. That's not right. Choosing a song for this group, that's difficult. I'm not sure I've quite got it yet. I need to keep looking.
For Gareth, a long night of deliberation. The next day, his troops gather for the big reveal.
Good morning, Captain.
How are we?
Hi.
Firstly, congratulations on your performance. It was fantastic to come together as a unit. This is Somerset House. They have lots of performances in this very space that you're standing in. When you next perform, it will be 5 times this space.
Bloody hell.
Try to imagine how many people that is. It's a huge number of people. And I want you to think very carefully about that because I want to consider what song can possibly do justice to your story.
There ain't no mountain high
Ain't No Mountain High Enough. OK, it's a great song. But honestly, there's no song that absolutely specifically speaks about your stories. So what I would like you to do is write your own song.
Oh, you...
Really?
Yes. That's what we're going to do.
Should we do that now, then? As in including music?
Including music and words, it's going to be your song. So we're going to come up with a song worthy of the occasion. Follow me.
Time for a crash course in songwriting.
First thing, we're going to play some games. Say our name and do an action. Gareth. And
Frightening. Absolutely frightening. I've never written poetry.
Andy.
I've never written words for a song, and it'd be interesting to see how we get that together.
OK, next thing we're going to do is tell Goldilocks and the Three Bears through sound alone. Their creativity isn't explored by the military in the way that I'm going to do it, but of course they're creative. They just perhaps don't realise it. Jesus Christ. Oh dear, he's having a moment.
No musical writing ability at all, so I'm quite worried at the moment, actually.
Trained to keep their emotions in check, these wounded warriors will need to dig deep.
What things do you remember from your life that tell me about the journey? Images, please. Just little photographs of something from along the way.
A dark room.
Dark room.
Medals gathering dust.
It's lovely. What's great is we don't have anything. It's a really exciting place to be.
Lost love.
Lost love. We don't have a song, but we've got this amazing opportunity and we've got the most incredible group of people.
Hanging on by your fingertips, that kind of crevasse, and you kind of being at the top, sliding down.
What's the difference between a crevice and a crevasse?
A crevice is between your bum cheeks, and a crevasse is on a mountainside.
OK, next, yep.
Pink mist.
Pink mist.
It's a reference that soldiers use to describe a body being blown up.
We have something powerful, and so if we can put that into a song, I think it'll be terrific.
It's all very somber. I think, the whole business of defying all this misery that we've been through. Let's get on with our lives.
Yeah, so there's a kind of...
Hope.
Hope. Oh, I love hope. Should we try and be positive now?
The holding of hands, and knowing that power, that love's there, you know what I mean? And even the men would cuddle each other just for reassurance, for...
That's lovely, because holding of hands is a beautiful way of expressing the word love, but without saying...
Love.
While writing lyrics is new to most of the choir, putting war into words is something ex-rifleman Paul has tried before.
Yeah, I've done some poetry. The way that I do it, I create a story that flows into a poem, and it's about my time in Afghanistan and about the men that I lost, walking out the gate of the FOB forward operation base and going down Pharmacy Road where I lost so many men.
We may have some of your poems.
You bastard.
Well, would you mind me reading it out?
OK, if you do it nice and clear in a bit of a man's voice.
Just going to go and look for my man's voice. As I walk through the gates of hell on Devil's Road, I look down this lonely, dusty track where so many lives have changed. Physically or mentally, the damage is done.
We think of the army as, very tufty, macho men in the army. Well, it's not all about that, and I write poetry. We're all taught to be machines in the forces. We've still got to find who we are as individuals.
After a youth spent in children's homes, Paul joined the army at 17.
I found that it was my world. I was born to be a green soldier, and I embarked on it and embraced it.
But his career was cut short by an explosive device in Afghanistan.
I can still taste the blood in my mouth. I can still smell the gunfire. I can still hear the screams. And 1 minute I'm this soldier serving on the front line and I'm with my pals. And next thing I'm stuck in a hospital bed and I can't see what's happening around me. And they had to remove shrapnel from my brain. My right eye was surgically removed. My left eye, they tried saving as best they can. That was when I was scared.
To help him come to terms with his situation, Paul began writing poetry.
On the day that I was injured, 2 chaps died. I question it pretty much every other day. Why did I survive with the injuries that I sustained, And I've got to take that and do good with it.
Their spirits and souls flow across the sea, back to Blighty, where the country will salute them, and where the men who stood beside them will cry a tear and never forget. Rest in peace, my brothers.
I'll tell you what, Gareth, them words were spot on, mate.
For somebody who is the perpetual joker of the group, it's very heartfelt and beautiful and sincere. That is what we have to do. We have to create a song that now speaks about all your personal experience. Does anyone have something? Is there a tune?
Don't turn your eyes away I don't know how. I don't know what the song is. I'm trying to think. There's something there, isn't it? It's don't turn your eyes away.
Let's all sing that. Don't turn your eyes away. It's a thought, isn't it? I quite like that idea because if I'm brutally honest, you know, I think for a lot of people there's a level of being uncomfortable with disability or mental health that you don't want to look it in the eye. You don't want to face up to it. That's really poignant.
Don't turn your eyes away and leave me in the dark.
Don't turn your eyes away and leave me in the dark. That's right. Let's leave that. That's one nugget. Let's find another nugget.
Gareth's troops are becoming songwriters.
Someone else. We've had Paul's come up with one tune.
Jem, you got a good voice.
I can't sing.
But not everyone is comfortable opening up.
I'm really struggling to jump in with both feet.
The next line.
It feels like a step too far to engage in that type of expression.
Music was once a passion for former Army Captain Gemma.
Music was huge. I mean, I studied music, I perform, I used to write songs, fairly dreadful ones.
During her 6 years of service, Gemma witnessed war crimes in Kosovo. Since then, she's battled with post-traumatic stress.
I struggled to readjust to life back here, reality back here, walking around Tesco's, you know. And in order to carry on, and in order to be a mum to 3 kids, I've chosen to shut down that expressive part of me.
OK, thank you. This is excellent first steps. Next week, for me, is about gathering your ideas. Send me your thoughts. This is what this is all about, them telling their story. We have made a start.
The notebook pages are filling up slowly but surely.
Over the next few days, the choir put pen to paper.
Hope is my inner voice of towering strength. I don't even actually know whether that makes sense.
I woke up rather shorter than I used to be. Best foot forward, stiff upper lip, carry on walking from the hip.
I've had ideas from everyone. You read these words, there's anger and there's pain and there's fear and there's like a spiral of blackness. There's... These are very, very moving. It's the real first-hand experience of people who've been traumatised by war. It's all there. With all of them, it's all there. It's just getting it out that's the difficult thing. They're just not used to expressing themselves in this way.
Never written a song before. I threw some ideas together and it reminded me of some poetry that I'd written when I was in Combat Stress Treatment Centre. Will I ever laugh again, hope again, dream again, play again, smile again?
Desire again, joke again, fly again, climb again. This is Steve's poem. I just think it's great. And the rhythm of it, it feels like a song. It feels like there's music in it.
The Invictus Games are just 3 weeks away, but the choir still don't have a song.
I'm going to go and see Gemma to start writing with her. She's generally musically switched on, and yet has been musically switched off for years because of her PTSD.
Being part of the choir for Gemma has been hugely beneficial. I was a little bit apprehensive that opening up Pandora's box of PTSD could have been a negative experience. But now the music's coming back, and it's nice to see something she's so passionate about, so talented with, and making the most of her talent, and being able to share that with other people.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, really good.
See,
Well.
yeah. Feeling a bit more ready today?
Yeah, on Monday and Tuesday, Beth, my daughter, and we just sat at the piano.
Oh, great.
Mum, you're singing. She went, but just sing.
I'm glad she's on my team.
She is on your team.
Don't turn your eyes away and leave me in the dark.
I am not strong, because that to me implicitly says, and that's okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
I am not strong. Ba-da-da-da. You know, it's like I have been weak. Can we have that instead?
Yeah, it's good. I think Gareth's right. To get a song that really reflects our stories and how we feel, we need to write it ourselves. I think for me that hope is a fundamental word in all of this, because without hope there is no recovery.
Yeah.
Central London. After a long week for Gareth, the choir assembled to hear their song for the first time.
I'm expecting some sort of magic.
We'll get the lift.
This song, just for us here today in this Veterans Choir, is going to mean something.
Bit of trepidation. I hope it is emotional. I just don't want it to sound naff.
I'd like this song to say who we are, to show how we've progressed, and if it can represent our emotions, I'll be really happy.
I think this song really works. I just don't know. I don't know what they're going to make of it. Hello!
Morning. Lovely to see you, Gareth.
Nice hairstyle.
Thank you. Yeah, I've had a little, slightly military. So welcome. Hello.
Hello.
It is very good to see you. Are you itching to hear it?
Yeah.
I just want to start by thanking you all for your emotional honesty. I've put my heart into this, so if you hate it... Here we go. This is your song.
This is our song.
Our song.
Ours.
This is our song. OK, here it is. Stepping out to lead the line, stared into my brother's eyes, sweeping sands the men behind. We are made of flesh and blood, frozen in the morning light, an image I don't recognize. The mirror shows me broken bound, but I will learn to run again. Don't turn your eyes away and leave me in the dark. Don't turn your eyes away. I have been strong, I have been weak, and I've had days I could not breathe. But from the dust and through the snow, we come together now. I will learn to love again, to dream again, to hope again. I will learn to walk again, to run again, to fly again. And from the dust and through the snow, we come together to love again.
It's amazing, honestly, it's amazing.
You get 2 thumbs.
2 thumbs.
I've got to admit, I was worried.
You and me both.
99% of songs for this sort of thing, they are normally crap.
Yeah.
But that stands up as a song.
Good.
That was quite something. It dawned on me as that's kind of familiar.
Steve, I was really, really powerfully struck by your poem. And it was for me, it was an absolute eureka moment.
I wrote that 4 years ago when I was really low and dark, and you've kind of made it, yeah, I will, I can.
And I felt that it was so right for Invictus Games, so I hope you're OK with that.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I felt proud of myself. Yeah, I do feel proud.
I was well impressed by that, mate.
Now I've had a chance to take it in and understand it, this is something that I know I will be very proud to sing. Gareth, you've bloody done it.
The song has received the choir's seal of approval. Now, Gareth's thoughts turn to the big event.
Wow. This is the last Invictus Games. It's just huge.
Oh, dear.
It's going to be broadcast around the world, and it's going to be a big stage, 12,000 people in the audience. I don't want to get swallowed up by that. Can this unlikely band of brothers come up with something that is weighty enough to stand on that stage and make an impact when there's only 10 of them? The difficulty is I've got 3 basses, a load of tenors and 3 women, and it's just not balanced at all. So that's my biggest worry.
So Gareth casts around for new recruits.
He's not amazing, but I think he'll be fine.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Anytime she goes away.
Great. She's an alto, which is perfect. 2 extra people is going to make a big difference, but it still leaves me with the slight feeling that it's not enough. We are going to America in 2 weeks, and we're singing a song that splits into lots of different parts. So, I would like to introduce you to 2 more Wounded, Injured and Sick veterans.
Drum roll, please.
Hey! Here they are. So this is Charlie and James.
Hi, Charlie.
I was a trainee pilot. I had an injury. It's going to result in me being discharged from the Naval Service.
I used to be in the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiments. I was medically discharged for testicular cancer. That's not the reason why I can sing high, but...
He's in. He's definitely in. He's in.
Up till now, I've been the friendly choir master, but it's time to be a field marshal. 1, 2, 3, and...
I have been strong.
I will be giving orders, and they will be obeying. Got about 6 notes there.
I think you're making an assumption that we can all read music.
Fine.
I agree with him, I'm the same.
It's an imperfect choir. We have people, some of whom really struggle to learn music.
Which bits are we humming? Which bits are singing? I'm just... Because
Okay.
you're obviously flapping your hands around.
We've got people that can't see, people with emotional problems, we've got people that can't learn and remember because of a brain problem. But I know that they can do it.
I have been strong.
We come together now.
Get in there, Stevie, my lad. You know, we've all come on a journey. We've all bonded together, all from different levels of the armed forces, and different ranks. We're a team.
We're all feeding off each other, so even if you feel low, everyone else is there to kind of pick you up.
Do that bit one more time.
Christ, yeah. I know everyone who's here and all the other choir members have got my back.
Come together to
We're not professional singers, and yet, collectively, I think it's a really extraordinary bunch.
I think this could be a catalyst. I'm feeling ready to step forward.
Should we echo each other? I don't know how else to do this.
Slap him.
At the age of 18, when I joined the army, they taught me to read and write. Looking at all this music, it's been hard for me to grasp, but everybody's been there to help.
But from the dust, Jeffrey, could kiss you.
This has just cheered me up, you know. I've got all the banter back, met a great bunch of people. We're all a team, aren't we?
For Dave, the company of fellow soldiers is something he's missed.
When I left the army, I distanced myself from the regiment. For some strange reason, I had this notion in my head that no one in the regiment would want to know me anyway. Weird. Because I feel I cocked up in some way. I was almost 18 when I joined. Young and stupid. No sense. I look at photos of myself now and I think, you know, what were they thinking of giving that child a rifle, you know? I did 2 tours of Belfast. This particular 2 gunmen opened up with Armalite rifles on automatic. The corporal, my mate, I thought he'd dived down, but he'd been shot. Dragged him out the way. Unfortunately, he died about 3 days later, I think. Lovely bloke. Every day, I still think about him.
Despite being deeply affected by the incident, it was 34 years before Dave was diagnosed with PTSD.
I didn't get shot, and I almost feel like I have to justify myself. You know, it's not my fault that I'm still here, you know what I mean? But the choir coming along, it's given me a kick in the pants, and connecting with people, and the camaraderie. No one has to say if they're not well or if they don't want to speak to you. We understand. It's done me a power of good. Oh, you wouldn't believe the good it's done me. I sat down the other day and I actually felt cheerful. And that hasn't happened for over 30 years. Sat there, like, felt cheerful. Great.
The choir travelled to the United States in 14 days' time.
To feel again, to love again.
Morning, troops.
Good morning.
How are you?
Young sir, how the devil?
I love that you're already rehearsing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the sound
we're
of
on it.
people who are afraid. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we all feeling?
Anxious.
Anxious, are you? Why anxious?
To get this right.
Good. I love to see a choir under pressure. Let's talk about solos. Who fancies a solo? It's a big thing. Gemma, you didn't put your hand up.
Yeah, I was...
Or was it a tiny hand?
It was like that.
OK. Choosing the right soloist, for me, is about choosing the person whose sentiment and whose personality matches the lyric.
Sweeping sands, the men behind. We are made of flesh and blood.
You have a lovely way of drawing people to you. Are you up for the challenge?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. That's yours.
I will learn
To sing Steve's lyrics, Gareth needs a second soloist.
Again, to hope again.
Yeah, it's the Boy's Own version.
Yeah. That's the Irish for you. Yeah.
I will learn to laugh again, to dream again, to hope again.
Marilia, how do you feel about doing a solo?
Whatever pleases you, Mr. Gareth.
Your voice pleases me.
It will be my honour.
Orlando, Florida. The Champion Stadium.
Wow, look at this.
Wow. My goodness.
In just 48 hours, the choir will take to the stage at the opening ceremony of the 2016 Invictus Games. Gareth has one last-minute tweak to the performance.
This is an international event. This needs to be a performance that packs a punch. So, with your permission, I would like to invite in a group of US veterans and serving personnel to come and sing the finale with us, the last section. Is that OK with you?
Yeah.
They're outside.
Hey, guys. Hey,
Come and say hi, come and introduce yourselves.
We're here to back you up.
Well, I'll tell you what, we need it.
As a veteran, as an injured soldier, I have been in their shoes.
Your cue is going to be We Come Together Now. What I'm really looking for is that feeling of everyone coming together. This is one of the big themes of the song.
And Britain's going to win.
And Britain's going to... Let's not get into rivalry, just...
Sorry, friends.
You can take a guy out of the army. Let's try that.
There's a little bit of... It's our song. But then, the song's for all of us, all veterans, and we're all coming together, just like the song.
But from the dust,
I just feel that there was that big punch that we just needed, the brother in arms, sister in arms. It works, it works.
OK, well done. You want to have a little cry? Don't worry, it's fine. Listen, my goodness.
It's so beautiful. And I have been through the struggle that you've been through. You guys are representing us.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful that we've been joined by the Americans. And my goodness, the outpouring of emotion from them is something that, frankly, we're just not used to. You know, there's a whole lot of, what's this going on in my chest? I can't...
There was a beautiful connection there today. It took me back. It was a really strange moment after spending all this time with British veterans, and we all zipped up, and it just poured out of them all. What I would say is don't underestimate how powerful it's going to be having you sing these words. You try and get a grip. Yeah? Try and... It's a really difficult balance, but I think we've done really good work here today and just sort of preparing ourselves.
The opening ceremony to the 2016 Invictus Games is about to begin.
It's happening. The game is afoot. Look at that. 12,000 people.
I've seen the crowds outside. They're massive.
You have faced so much worse, all of you, than this. So go for it. Let it all out.
I'd like to say something, if that's all right.
Yeah, Paul.
To the group. I'll tell you what, I haven't cried personally in 7 years. You know, I haven't cried since I lost my best friend on the battlefield. And I can feel myself choking up already because I know what's going to happen out there. So to me, it's quite an emotional day. So we must remember why we're here. It's for our country, it's for our fallen, it's for our wounded. So go out there and feel proud.
Please welcome the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama.
I'm petrified. Absolutely petrified.
A little bit ahead of schedule, so as soon as you're ready, let's get in the line and get ready to head down.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Prince Harry.
I had to create the Invictus Games to build a platform for all those who have served.
This choir of wounded warriors has been together for just 7 weeks.
Over the next 4 days, you will see people who by rights should have died on the battlefield.
Now they perform for a global audience.
It all comes down to a 3-minute song. They've got this one moment to make a very, very bold statement.
Let's put on a hell of a show in memory of all of our fallen comrades who didn't make it. We are Invictus.
Stepping out to lead the line, I stare into my brother's eyes. Sweeping sands, the men behind. We are made of flesh and blood.
Frozen in the morning light, an image I don't recognize. The mirror shows me broken and bound, but I will learn to run again.
Don't turn your eyes away and leave me in the dark. Don't turn your eyes away. I have been strong, I have been weak, and I've had days I could not breathe. But from the dust and through the snow, we come together now. Now the walls are closing in. I can hear the cries begin.
solid.
We did it!
Sweet as a nut.
Well done, boss.
Well done.
I had to hold back the tears. Oh, it was brilliant, mate. Thank you.
It's done so much for us all. It really has.
I thought Gareth was a bit of a maniac, deciding to write a song just weeks before needing to deliver it to an audience of that size. I mean, I'm massively proud of what we've done, and I think it's a really good song.
I hope that in Invictus games to come that this song will live on. It deserves to be heard. So we're going to release it as a single. Any proceeds will go to Invictus.
Just feel so proud of having stood up there with everybody and told that story.
I am a singer.
Yes, you are.
Those 3 minutes I can remember for the rest of my life. And they are 3 minutes of being incredibly proud of what I've done. Incredibly proud of who I now am.
It's what we have built up for, and it was over and done in the blink of an eye. I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss this.
For details of organisations which offer advice and support, go online or call the BBC Action Line for recorded information on 08000 924 299. Lines are open 24 hours and calls are free from landlines and mobiles.